Welcome everyone, I'm Joe Dager at Business 901. I can sum up the entire presentation in 3 steps and we can be done. It is that simple. Go and see the initial practice, Gemba, the user. Form a working vision from the user experience, an ideal situation where the user wants to go. If you visualize this process, it is obvious to see what your next reaction should be and when to trigger it. Lean is targeted to certain kinds of organizations who actually enjoy learning, from the customer, from the user. But before we get started, get ready to use a little of your doodling skills. I'm a firm believer that doodling is not a waste of time. It is a productive means to learning. Studies have shown doodlers remember as much as 30% more than non-doodlers. So get a pen and paper out and let's get started. You can draw a house if you'd like, because I use a house as a way of introducing Lean to the sales and marketing. I follow the foundational principles of Lean throughout this presentation. The difference will only be in the tools I prescribe and the perspective that I take. So let's start with something common to all, the value chain. Of course, it's a concept from business management that was first described and popularized by Michael Porter. And the chain of activities gives the products more added value than the sum of an independent activities value. It was written at the same time Lean came into existence. Of course, we all know Lean started back in Lean Thinking by Womack and Jones, and the authors introduced the 5 core concepts. I'm not going to go through them all, but this is how we follow Lean and how we think about Lean. This led us into this value discipline model, which basically states that you must decide on which one of these 3 value disciplines will become your value proposition. Most people maintain you have to choose one. I mean, Walmart chose operational excellence, Apple was product leadership, Nordstrom or a mom and pop was customer intimacy. You know, any successful company aims to be the best, preferably the best in market. However, we'll do that with one of them, but you can't ignore the other 2. You must be competent at them. And you must understand your value proposition relative to your competition. It is how you determine not only your growth strategy, but your survival strategy. The value stream is how a typical Lean company will approach sales and marketing. They will apply it on a project-by-project basis to such marketing activities as sales calls, promotion, distribution. And we extend that waste and cost-cutting focus of Lean to marketing in an attempt to market these activities more effectively and efficiently. Because we all know the undisciplined and creative activities that define sales and marketing offer a rich treasure of cost savings when made more disciplined and structured. As we identify all this value and we identify value streams, wasted steps are removed. Flow and pull introduced continue until a state of perfection is reached, in which perfect value is created with no waste. We do this with our products and services. So when we bring Lean to sales and marketing, we keep looking at ways to make things better, faster, cheaper. Better quality in presentations, quicker cycle times, faster response, and of course our mapping process coincides with the sales and marketing funnel. We visualize the marketing cycle through the use of funnel thinking on how it narrows down to the actual purchase of the product. However, a linear approach to predict, plan, and proceed is a precarious way to advance. It assumes we can take our customer by the hand and lead them through the process. We assume we can get them to conform. And at the end, we negotiate a win-win proposition. This approach prematurely foresees a solution for the customer without ever understanding their problem. And if you consider addressing the applications of social media, it does nothing to support inbound marketing. As we work our way down the funnel, it is just as likely evidence will mount that the proposed solution is wrong. However, we have so much invested, we attempt to sway the course of action in our favor. Linear planning will increase the risk for a customer to engage in an inappropriate course of action. This thinking was developed in a supply-driven economy where the customer did not ignore these value-added services. What we see now across the world is that we have excess capacity. The value chain concept, the funnel thinking concepts are based on excess demand, and it has made us simply in love with our products and our services. So what does the world look like? Can we transform from a push style of thinking to a pull style? Will lean marketing work? Well, the new wave of marketing has seen an entire new set of tools being used, with the components of social media leading the way. No longer do we trust print media, radio, television, all that forms of traditional media. And we've changed the tools. You gotta be a marketing technologist. Funny thing is now, we have these technologies telling us about marketing, telling us about content strategy, buzz, big data, and value. What we are seeing today, though, is volatility like never before. And at the same time, we no longer have the reliability of understanding what customers are going to demand and when they're going to demand it. We have this perfect storm that has come together of excess capacity and incredible product variety. So marketing is getting squeezed. In one case, the supply chain, as we know it, is gone. We no longer trust the old set of tools, and we have an entire new set of tools being used, and the pressure is on for us to catch up, but we rely way too much on the tools. How true Deming was when you apply his thoughts to sales and marketing. Sales and marketing's natural resource was that demand always exceeded supply. Sure, it was not handed to us on a silver platter, and not all of us were successful. But for the most part, there was a demand. That demand has diminished or ceased to exist in many markets. We are competing in a state where there is excess supply. There is a scarcity of sales and marketing's natural resource, customers. How many companies are still giving pep talks? How many companies still do not understand sales and marketing as a stable system? You can tamper and cause special cause variation, but the bottom line is that sales and marketing has changed, and that it must be managed as a system. There are many marketing systems in the world. However, most of them have relatively little value towards improvement or optimization as a whole. Dr. Deming believes that the journey of continuous improvement requires the understanding of systems, which is emphasized in his own system of profound knowledge. Within that context, Dr. Deming says, it is the structure or the organization rather than the employees alone which holds the key to improving the quality of output. Structure. Lean is targeted to certain kinds of organizations who actually enjoy learning. You have to be committed to continuous improvement as opposed to just doing things and running things as they are. What makes Lean different is the system. Making this process your own is how the work is enabled. Most people read a book, download software or the workbook, and try to apply without going through their own learning process. They think there's a silver bullet. It's just an experiment. It's just a hypothesis. Use PDCA in adding a few of these thoughts to your toolbox in the way you do your work. Thank you.